Okay, great. Thanks so much for the opportunity of sharing a little bit about astrotourism. As some folks know, that my heart lies in the Northern Cape, and I'm busy packing up my house in Johannesburg, and I should be there shortly, like in a month or so. So as a Sustainable Tourism Partnership Program, we got the opportunity to write the strategy for astrotourism in South Africa. And we've got to understand what astrotourism is. So tourism is using the natural resource of unpolluted, which is night skies, and appropriate scientific knowledge for astronomical, cultural and environmental, and now tourism activities. So what we can believe is that the night sky in all its beauty is absolutely free, and it's always available and never needs to be fixed or developed. Which is the fun part, except when there's bad weather. And the Central Karoo has been declared as an astronomy geographic advantage region, which preserves and protects the area for the development of optical and radio astronomy, and limit light and radio pollution, which is a key enabler for the development of astrotourism in the Central Karoo. Now, the Northern Cape has also positioned itself to be an astrotourism destination. So when we look at astrotourism, there are different aspects to it. There's the dark skies, places where the darkness of the night is relatively free of interference from artificial light. And the Northern Cape is perfectly positioned for that. Then there are also celestial events. They include moon phases, like the full moon, whatever moons, the meteor showers, the eclipses, oppositions, conjunctions, comets, and the different planetary events. When some of the planets line up, etc., etc. We can also get involved in conferences, which is the meetings of minds in the science environment. There are also observatories. Most of them are run by the department, but there are some private ones, and also planetariums, which are there for the public to learn more about astronomy. So, how to also get involved is through conferences and festivals. There are a number of conferences around the world, and the Northern Cape and South Africa need to pitch for them because they bring in a huge amount of people, and it also makes people aware of the areas that are inclined to offer astro activities. Then there's the cultural astronomy, which is the study and the use of astronomical knowledge, beliefs, and theories to inspire, inform, or influence social forms and ideologies, or any aspect of human behavior. And then there's also astrophotography. So there's lots of different ways that one can get involved in astrotourism. There's the planetarium in Cape Town. So there's opportunities for job creation. So we can create homestays in rural areas. And there's a definite need for more tour guides that specialize in astrotourism. Today, in the normal tourism education that is given, there's about 5-page introduction to astrotourism. And I think we need to work through the amateur astronomy associations and try and get enthusiasts from there to grow the pool of tour guides. And then, of course, there's all the other stuff that goes with astrotourism. You want to take away some souvenirs. I don't know, whether it's fridge magnets, whether it's T-shirts, whether it's something. So there are those little opportunities to create side hustles if you want. So what some establishments are offering at the moment, okay, they offer stargazing through storytelling. It's quite fun. The one establishment, after dinner, they come and collect you, and you go on a bumpy ride with your blankets and the glühwein, and then you go lie in hammocks, and then somebody comes and tells you the stories of the stars as they see it. That's in. So it's an interesting part of doing that. It's not necessarily an astronomer or an astrophysicist that is telling you that story, but more of a casual kind of a thing. Then there's the Indigenous knowledge sharing, which is going to be quite an important aspect to getting involved in astrotourism. It's really done well in the Northern Cape. And then another opportunity is through astrophotography, celestial events. When you know that there's a blood moon coming or a blue moon coming, you can organize an event, especially around that. And one can also have planetarium shows. And what we mean by planetarium shows, you don't have to have a planetarium for that, but you can download different kinds of films that are available that would be of interest to people. Anyone can also have astronomy talks. In fact, there was one just recently at Marapeng that was incredibly well. Many people attended there. So through the surveys that we've done, we've seen what visitors want. Visitors are prepared to travel to enjoy astrotourism offerings. And it doesn't really matter what it is. And visitors are also prepared to pay for such experiences. So even if it's an add-on experience, if they are they've gone to an establishment, they've done whatever they've done during the day, and then it's something that is offered with a dinner after to complement part of their visit, and they're prepared to pay for that experience. And visitors that are interested in stargazing are also interested in adventure tourism. So that's it. If they're busy during the day and then they can have their dinner, what do they do in the evening? So that was quite interesting, that came from out of our research. And visitors would get involved in activities if they were offered, and they would pay for it. So if you offered something in astrotourism, whether it was stargazing and storytelling, because it's being offered, the guests that come to your establishment, they would get involved. We looked at the type of accommodation that visitors want, and it ranges. And they would go from camping to self-catering to bed and breakfast, 3 to 5 star accommodation, backpackers. They're not really fussed. They actually just go to be out there and under the stars. So we're busy still doing research. Okay, so when we ask you to partake, so we're doing surveys for establishments and we're doing surveys for visitors. So we'd like you to partake in it if you can. And what we're going to be achieving with our strategy, we're also going to be coming out with guidelines. So there's going to be guidelines where there's no cost, how you can get involved with no cost, how you can get involved with low cost, how you can get involved with medium cost, and how you can get involved with high cost. There are some lodges around South Africa that have really gone out of their way, and they spent hundreds of thousands of rands establishing planetariums, observatories, etc., etc. And those are very high-end experiences. But there are experiences that one can create that are of extremely low cost. And like we said in the beginning, the sky is there, so it's there to be enjoyed. So the stars alone will do nothing to boost tourism. We need a bigger plan, and the one that makes use of all the great in the area. And that's what we're busy doing. So let us look up to the stars and find the opportunities to grow astrotourism. And that's my simple presentation. Thank you.